Hello, and welcome to this Getting Started with Incisor tutorial. Incisor is a software development platform that is finely tuned for creating extremely light apps and games that will run on any browser. In this tutorial, we're going to cover downloading Incisor, creating an account, making a new project, editing the project code, creating a macro for updating the project in TypeScript, adding a custom asset, and publishing a project. Incisor works with either the JavaScript coding language or the TypeScript coding language. This is the tutorial for getting started with TypeScript. If you'd like to use JavaScript, follow the link in the description to the Getting Started with JavaScript video tutorial. Now, before you get started, you'll need to choose a code editor. In this tutorial, we'll be using Visual Studio Code, which is a great free editor and can be downloaded from the VS Code download page. Next, we'll need to download the latest version of Incisor, which can be found in the Incisor Dev download page. The latest version of Incisor is called Red, and it is currently released as a public beta. Once downloaded, choose the appropriate version for your operating system. For this tutorial, we'll be using the Apple ARM processor. Let's click the app to open Incisor. Next, you'll need to enter some information and an email address to create an Incisor account. There is a free version of Incisor, and while Incisor is in beta phase, its paid features are also offered on a free trial basis. You'll need to confirm your email account before you can get started. Now you'll be prompted to open a project, but we'll choose to make a new project instead. Since we are developing with TypeScript, be sure to check the Use TypeScript checkbox. When opening a brand new project, it will take a few seconds for Incisor to process the included sample assets. Once loaded, you'll see the sample project up and running in the live view in the Incisor GUI. Now let's have a look at the new project directory that was created. You can see a few items in the directory, including a TypeScript project code folder, which is where the TypeScript code for the project lives, a project code folder, which is where the generated JavaScript code is distributed to, and an assets folder, which is where the assets for the project can be placed. So now let's open this project in our code editor. Within our code editor, we want to navigate to the TypeScript project code directory and open the project.main.ts file. That's where we can see the basic sample code running in our new project. As you can see, the existing code is very simple. It adds a text assembly object which uses the sample font included in the assets directory. Let's make a change to the text that appears in the main screen. If you've developed with Incisor using JavaScript, you know that saving your code will automatically update live view. However, with TypeScript, there are some additional steps required. After you've saved your TypeScript code, it must then be compiled into JavaScript and distributed into the project code TypeScript generated JS directory. We first must make sure TypeScript is available to us within our project. We will use the Node Package Manager, or NPM, to do this. Execute the following npm install command. npm install TypeScript --save dev. Next, we will execute npm run build. This will execute a pre-build script to remove all of the previously generated TypeScript from your last build. It will then compile your TypeScript into JavaScript and distribute it as JavaScript into the project code TypeScript generated JS directory. Notice that after completing npm run build, the live view is automatically reloaded. To avoid needing multiple steps before a live view update, we can use a simple macro. There are a number of powerful free macro extensions for VS Code, but most editors will have the ability to add macros and bind them to a single key. For this example, I will create a VS Code task and bind it to the F5 function key. First, in the top menu, I will select Code, Settings, Tasks. Here, you can see in the task.json file that I've added two tasks, Save and Compile and Save All Files. Save All Files saves everything. Save and Compile depends on Save All Files, then it runs our npm build command. Next, I will go back to the top menu and select Code, Settings, Keyboard Shortcuts. In the top right, click the file icon to open keybindings.json. Here you can see that I have bound the F5 key to the save and complete run task. Now, let's add a few exclamation points, press the F5 key, and watch live view update automatically. Now let's make the text bounce up and down. As you can see, autocomplete options are built into Incisor. Dotting your way around the API is one of the easiest ways to familiarize yourself with Incisor's broad functionality. I'll add some motion along the y-axis and press F5 again. You can also access documentation for the entire API in the Incisor menu in the corner. Now let's add an asset of our own. To include a new image in our project, all we need to do is drag the PNG file into the Assets folder. Now we can use that new asset in our project. For example, we can add a graphic object to our scene using this new asset. Notice our graphic is now accessible from within VS Code when we start typing. To view the final product, we'll need to publish it, which can be done through the project menu. New projects come included with the dev mode configuration for publishing, but more configurations can be added in the project settings. Checking the Auto Host on Publish box will automatically host the newly published project in a new tab. Let's publish. Now you can see the final published product in action. Looking back in our project directory, we can see that Incisor has added a publishing folder and put the newly published and timestamped website under its own directory. And this concludes the Getting Started with Incisor TypeScript tutorial. Check the link in the description for more tutorials. And feel free to leave questions and feedback on Stack Overflow and our subreddit. Enjoy creating with Incisor.